Hi Matilda.
Hi Lizzie.
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm not too bad. So happy to have you join today.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to be here. Excited and nervous at the same time.
That's completely okay. As am I, you just can't tell.
There is a huge stigma within the care system. There is this expectation that just because, you're a care experienced young person, there is a limitation on you. You are a troublemaker. You can achieve your full potential. When you're in care, and this is something I even see with some of the young people we're working with now, you find yourself in the most isolated place because no one understands you. So like myself, I was in a foster home where I didn't get on with my foster family. One thing you notice, even if you look at young people now within the system, they're so angry because they don't have control of their life and what they've gone through. They come across as very defensive. I went into care in year 10 and unfortunately, when I took my GCSE, I didn't do so well. And that was because, it wasn't because I wasn't capable, it was because of the unstable home that I found myself in, that change, that transition in, and that really impacted me. I remember coming home, to my foster carer and showing her my results. And, she said something to me that changed everything. She took the result and she said to me, "Oh, that's okay. At least you finished school. And at least you can get a job in the supermarket with that. What's your problem? Why are you not happy?" And I get where she was coming from, but then at the same time, I was really shocked because I was thinking, that's not what I wanted to hear during that time. And I remember I ran upstairs that day and I didn't even know what I was doing. I ran up to my room, I stood in front of the mirror and I looked at myself and I said to myself, "Matilda, you are never going to fail again. It doesn't matter what you need to do, you're going to do it, but you're going to go to university, even if it means you have to retake your GCSE, go and do your A levels." Literally, I gave myself this pep talk and I didn't even know where that came from, And that's, for me, that's what changed everything. And exactly what I said to myself in the mirror, that was exactly what I did. So I'm a service manager for a new pilot project that is delivered by Shore Trust. They found out that there was this huge gap, with care experienced young people. They found out that they were not thriving compared to their other peers. Even the ones who were in education, employment, they were at risk of being excluded. So there was this massive gap that, we felt like we wanted to bridge. So that's where my future journey sort of stemmed from. The young people named it. So before we launched, we did a focus group. We asked the young people what is it they would like to call, this project. And they came up with that name, that it's their future and it's their journey, it's all about them. It's like having accountability, somebody that's accountable for you. So community, definitely, it is important. And I think that's one of the things we're trying to do with this project, is to create that space for young people to trust again, create that space for young people to re-engage again with professionals, to say that, hey, we can do this together. I believe in making that conscious decision to have the right people around you, But I guess also you can only think like that if you know where you're going. One of the values I would say that has really helped me is my identity, knowing who I am. I didn't want to be known as that young person that grew up in care, end up in a council flat and just, that was more to me than that, and I always knew that. And with that mindset, not only I was able to, I think they called it GNVQ then, so I did my GNVQ, I then moved on and did my A levels, then I went to university, and yeah, I wanted to go into banking because I wanted to help people with their finance. So I knew that whatever job I was going to do, I have to help. After I graduated, I did an internship with the DWP, and I found out about the world of work, about helping people to get into employment, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I didn't even know this exists, But actually, I feel like I'm doing more than banking, because yes, I could have helped somebody with their money, but here I'm actually transforming life. and actually was working with adults. Then I realized, well, they were too demanding, and I was a young person. I thought I could do the same, but with younger people. So then I left, and I started working for a training provider where we're working with young people to get them qualifications, young people like myself, and I loved it. You know, I found my passion, I enjoyed it. You know, it wasn't a job. It was, for me, it was like, this is it. And since then, we're talking over 15 years ago, I haven't looked back. So I've worked for 2 or 3 organizations working with young people in different capacity. With a young person, or even with people, and you realize that the work that you're doing has so much power to change life, you know, that for me is wealth. I may not have thousands of pounds or millions of pounds. Don't get me wrong, I do want to become a millionaire one day. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's a generational thing, you know. I know that I'm not just changing their life, but their children, children, because if their mom or dad, you know, can go back to university, go back to education, get a job that will better themselves, not end up in prison, not end up in a mental home, but actually get something out of their life, you know, you've changed a whole generation. You've changed a whole community, a whole society. So yeah, you can't stop or control what happens to you, but you can control how it impacts you. You find your purpose through the good, the painful experience that you've gone through, the traumas that you've gone through, those unpleasant situations. That is where you find your purpose. That is where you find your passion. You may find yourself as a young person right now, you're watching this video, and you may find yourself in a place where you haven't had control of what has happened to you, you know, in the past, or what you've gone through, what you've experienced. But actually, you have every control now to determine how that past affects you and shape you. You can take control of your story. So my question to you as you're watching this, if you were to give a title to your story, what would you title it?
That's great. Thank you so much, Matilda, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Great. We're done.